Something unsettling is happening right now in Vancouver's real estate market. If you're a homeowner, an active buyer, or someone looking to invest, you've probably noticed it. There's been a noticeable slowdown in the market, and homes that once sold in days are now sitting quietly on the market for weeks or even months. Prices that seemed unstoppable are suddenly stagnant, creating anxiety and confusion among buyers, sellers, and investors alike. If you're feeling stuck, worried, or anxious, you're not alone. I talk to people just like you every single day, helping them navigate exactly this type of uncertainty. But something about this current market feels different. What do I mean by this? Well, it's not that simple. We're gonna have to do some digging in order to get to that answer. So let's get into exactly what's happening, why it's happening, and most importantly, what you can do to protect yourself and find great opportunities during this real estate freeze. First, what exactly is this freeze that everybody's talking about? Simply put, the Vancouver real estate freeze refers to a period of time where home sales dramatically slow down, prices stop climbing and even decline in some cases, and the market enters a state of uncertainty. Homes that would have flown off the shelves a year ago are sitting on the market with little to no interest. Buyers are hesitant due to fear and uncertainty, holding many back from making a decision. Sellers are frustrated, wondering why offers aren't pouring in and struggling to accept the fact that their home isn't worth what it was in the past. But why is this happening? To better understand that, let's look at some of the key factors that are causing this slowdown. First of all, interest rates have played a major role. Over the past 5 years, the Bank of Canada has changed interest rates significantly. They went from all-time lows at the start of 2020 to rapidly and significantly increasing at record rates during 2022 and 2023, and now they're back on the decline. So they've basically gone from one extreme to the other. For those who have rode the wave with variable rates, mortgages have become noticeably more expensive. But as I mentioned, they have started to come back down. The same goes for anyone who has had to renew or refinance their mortgage more recently. This is causing distress for some homeowners as their mortgage payments have already or are set to go up in the near future. Because of this, it's forced more people to have to sell their home, which has caused an increase in homes listed on the market. We're actually seeing a huge increase in supply with active listings at 15 to 20-year highs, meaning more options for buyers to choose from and less competition. But that's only part of the story. Another reason we're seeing this freeze is because of economic uncertainty. Inflation, cost of living expenses, the federal election, tariffs, and fears of a potential recession have buyers and investors on edge. People are cautious about taking on large financial commitments right now, which naturally translates to less activity on the housing market. There's also been a shift in government policies and regulations designed to cool the housing market. Additional taxes and an outright ban on foreign buyers, speculation taxes, the Airbnb ban, and stricter mortgage qualification rules, just to name a few, have collectively discouraged speculative investments, contributing to the slowdown. Now, let's talk about what this means for you, depending on your situation. If you're a seller, you're probably feeling uneasy about your home sitting on the market longer than expected. Maybe you listed your home expecting a quick sale like your neighbors had in the past, or maybe you're aware the market slowed down, but you were still expecting to sell for a higher price, but now you're getting few to no showings. You might be wondering whether to drop your price or just wait it out. The key here is not to panic, but rather to adjust your expectations and strategy to current market conditions. Pricing correctly right now is more important than ever. Gone are the days where you could just price your home at or above the most recent sale in your neighborhood and expect multiple offers over asking price in under a week. Buyers have more choices today and more negotiating power. I can't stress enough how important not overpricing your home or testing the market is right now. You either need to have a 10 out of 10 move-in turnkey ready home that blows away the competition, or you need to be the best priced. There is no in between. If only 1 out of 10 homes is selling per month in a given area, which is pretty typical right now, you can't be sitting in the middle of the pack. That's why it's so important to work with a knowledgeable real estate agent who can provide up-to-date market data on both recently sold and currently active listings to help you price effectively. Presentation also matters significantly during a market freeze. When buyers have options, you need to stand out and every detail matters. This means you need to ensure that your home is showing immaculately. This isn't a time where you can just throw your home on the market and forget about the little things. You need to make sure that all the minor renovations and fixes are done ahead of time, that your home is staged and shows well, and that you're keeping it in showing condition at all times. Additionally, you need to be optimally marketed with professional photos, videos, floor plans, and more. Making sure that you've done all of these things will make a considerable difference when competing against similar listings, as even the smallest thing could present a turnoff for a potential buyer. And if you are that buyer, on the other hand, the market freeze could actually present opportunities for you. While lower interest rates typically lead to increasing prices, we haven't seen that yet. This is a rare situation where not only has your budget increased and potential mortgage payments gone lower, but home prices have simultaneously come down and the number of options on the market has increased. With more sellers and less buyers, the lack of competition also means you have greater negotiating power. Unlike a hot market, you're less likely to be rushed into overpaying or for a home that you don't love. You've got the time to make informed, strategic choices without the fear of being rushed to make a decision, getting stuck against multiple offers, or missing out completely. That is, however, if you've prepared ahead of time. If you're a first-time buyer, this could be an ideal time to carefully select the right property. You've got leverage to not only negotiate the price, but to add conditions into your contract, like inspections and financing clauses, as well as dates to your liking. Sellers who need to move quickly will be more willing to negotiate terms that are favorable to you, giving you additional flexibility and security. There have also been some beneficial government policies introduced as of late, such as the First Home Savings Account or FHSA, an increase in the property transfer tax exemption limits, and an exemption on GST for pre-sales and new homes under $1.5 million. This presents the perfect storm, but the key as a buyer is to be informed and ready. Educate yourself about these different incentives and take advantage of them. Get your pre-approval done, know your numbers ahead of time, and show some urgency. I always like to tell people that you need to be urgent but not feel rushed in anything. This means when the right property or deal does hit the market, get out there and view it in the first couple of days. Don't wait for the weekend or when it's most convenient. That's what everyone else is doing. Now, that doesn't mean you have to drop everything immediately and rush in there on the very first day, but if you can get in there the following day or even 48 hours later, that's going to be ideal. Because there's good deals out there and more coming every single day, but they won't wait around for you forever. For investors, this market freeze poses both challenges and significant opportunities. On one hand, flipping properties for a profit has become much riskier. In a flat or downtrending market, you can no longer just rely on massive short-term appreciation simply due to market conditions. Additionally, with the new federal and provincial flipping taxes, you've got added expenses that can take away from your profits. On the other hand, investors that are focused on long-term holding and rental income may find attractive deals beginning to emerge. However, this is also being counteracted by declining rent prices and less rental demand. A major factor here is the reduction in immigration, which has been rampant in recent years. So it can only be expected that this has helped lead to less demand. But on the positive side of things, a slower market often means more motivated sellers and more negotiable terms, potentially creating a better entry point for those willing to take a long-term perspective. In this environment, understanding the local market dynamics is key. Not all neighborhoods and property types are affected equally by this freeze. Some neighborhoods and property types are holding their value better than others. Properties that are in popular locations, near amenities and transit, and that have strong long-term fundamentals will typically weather downturns better and provide stable returns in the future. At the end of the day, there are deals to be had in every market, but knowing where to find them and where they're more likely to present themselves is crucial. If you're considering relocation due to market conditions, this freeze could be your perfect catalyst. Many Vancouver homeowners and investors are now looking at neighboring communities such as Surrey, Langley, and Maple Ridge for more affordable pricing and growth opportunities. These areas offer greater affordability, attractive communities which you may not know about, and promising long-term appreciation potential. Shifting your attention outside of Vancouver can protect your equity and allow you to maximize your buying power, as you're going to get more bang for your buck. Langley, for example, has quickly become a top choice for families, young professionals, and investors alike. Many are drawn to its blend of vibrant, family-friendly neighborhoods and modern amenities. The city offers excellent schools, a rapidly growing town center with shops, dining, and entertainment, and a strong sense of community. It also provides a great mix of newer developments in established neighborhoods, giving buyers plenty of options. With continued growth and future transit expansions like the SkyTrain extension, Langley offers not only more space for your money, but also strong long-term potential. Maple Ridge, on the other hand, appeals to buyers looking for a quieter lifestyle surrounded by natural beauty. Set against the backdrop of the Golden Ears Mountains and with access to countless parks, trails, and outdoor activities, it's perfect for those who value nature and community. At the same time, Maple Ridge is seeing more modern development and infrastructure improvements, giving residents better access to amenities and services. It offers a strong sense of community, a slower pace of life compared to the city, and housing options that deliver significantly more value than Vancouver. For buyers wanting more space, privacy, and access to the outdoors, Maple Ridge is an increasingly popular option that you should consider. Surrey is also becoming increasingly popular, being one of the fastest, if not the fastest growing city in the country, and for good reason. With steady growth, major developments, and more affordable entry points for housing, Surrey offers a viable alternative for Vancouverites looking to invest or relocate. Communities like Clayton, Cloverdale, South Surrey, and Fleetwood offer family-friendly neighborhoods, accessible transit options, great schools, and excellent quality of life, often at significantly lower price points than Vancouver. If you've heard negative comments about this city, that's not uncommon. However, the majority of the time, the people that are making these comments have either not spent much time in the city or haven't had a chance to see it in its entirety. Surrey is a massive city at 2.5 times larger than Vancouver in terms of its land area, so there's a lot of ground to cover. And unfortunately, those from outside the city have usually only visited a few select neighborhoods, which often turn out to be the least desirable ones. Because of this, they end up blanketing the entire city with this false perception. It would be like visiting the downtown east side of Vancouver and assuming that the rest of the city was exactly the same. It doesn't make sense, does it? That's why it's important to speak to someone like myself who has lived in the city of Surrey for over 30 years and knows it extensively, so you can get an accurate representation of what it has to offer. So what practical steps should you take right now to protect your investment or capitalize on the current market? First, educate yourself. Regularly stay informed about market trends, economic indicators, and the local real estate news. Knowledge is power, especially during times of uncertainty. However, knowledge is only power when acted upon, so don't get stuck in analysis paralysis. Second, review your personal financial situation. If you're a homeowner that's concerned about the market downturn, examine your finances carefully. Consider speaking with a financial advisor to reassess your position, manage debt effectively, and ensure you have a solid emergency fund. Third, consult with the appropriate professional. If you're unsure about your next steps, now's the time to reach out to an experienced local real estate agent who understands the nuances of your market. They can provide strategic, tailored advice specifically to your goals and your situation, ensuring you don't miss out on critical opportunities. Finally, be patient yet decisive. While the market freeze creates uncertainty, it won't last forever. Historical trends show that the market will eventually stabilize and recover. We've seen it time and time again. But no matter what, people always think that this time will be different and they end up regretting it later on. Create a set of clearly defined criteria, and if something checks enough boxes, strongly consider it. Something I've noticed over time is that the most successful people are typically quick decision makers. That doesn't mean saying yes to everything, as saying no is still making a decision. And when enough of their criteria has been met, and let me be clear in saying enough, because you're almost never going to find something that is absolutely perfect, that's when you should more seriously consider if it's going to be the right option for you. The Vancouver real estate freeze might seem intimidating, but remember, uncertainty always creates opportunity. It's a time when informed decisions, careful strategy, and thoughtful action can significantly pay off. If you're feeling unsure about your next move or want some more personalized guidance tailored to your unique situation, I'm always happy to have a conversation. I help people just like you every single day make the move, whether you're looking to buy, sell, invest, or relocate. So the best way to connect with me is to scroll down and click the first link in the description and book a no-pressure Zoom call with me at a time that works best for you. Or feel free to shoot me a text or email with any of your quick questions. Just know that you're not alone, and this doesn't need to be a stressful period for you. With the right support, guidance, and strategy, you can be confident in making a decision, whatever that may be, to put yourself in a better position in the future. I genuinely hope you got some value from this video, and if you'd like to see more just like it, I suggest you consider subscribing to my channel, as I put out new videos every single week. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to check out my latest video on Vancouver. We'll see you in the next video.